Hey guys, so tonight we are doing a little video. So it's nighttime. My light's not all that great in here, and I don't know why. It should be really bright in here. But I am going to kind of be, how do I put it? Donna Kato inspired here. So I've got a whole box of cane, okay? And we've made these videos before. This is one that we made. And we made that black and white flower the other day, so I'm going to try and put those to use here. I really don't know what I'm doing, and I'm not sure I'm going to like them because you know how bad I am at composition. So I saved a little piece of this that I can use, I don't know, for something, but I usually use these smaller. Actually, let me grab one more that I might like better. That just kind of floated in my head really quick there. So I'm going to try and use that little copapelli that we did. Oh, I have so much cane, guys. My biggest issue with cane is just not knowing what to do with them. So I have 3 canes that might work with this, okay? So this is kind of a weird one, but this one's got ecru in it and stuff, so I think this is going to match really well. And then I also have a Zuni bear, which isn't a great Zuni bear, and I did a really horrible job on the black and white on the outside. Because I'll tell you what, when those things squish, they squish. So I'm not going to use that. That I will literally probably take apart. So, again, I'm not sure what I'm doing. And I have these metal cutters. So I don't know if anybody's seen Donna Kato's video on the black and white series. I don't know if that was just put up, or it could be years ago and it just came up on my feed. I don't know how I found it, but it was on my feed, so I don't know if it was new or old though. But she used that thingamajigger. I don't even know what it's called. And I think hers is a little better quality. This is a little different. I don't know where she got hers from. But when I put in that description of it, I found it somewhere. So I'm not sure if I want to use, like, yeah, I'm a little ADD tonight. I just made a video for you guys out of glass. And like I said, I'm on my own for a little bit. So I have time to play, basically. But these are the cutters that I use. And they are something that I found at Michael's. I can't remember. I think it was Sweet Shop. But if you look at the circle, it's not a circle anymore. It's kind of like oblong. So I nixed that, and I'm using my own cutters, but I'm making them right now. But anyways, I don't know if I want to try and put it in this way and cup it, or obviously this way. Or I can use it on the back. I'm not sure which is easier for me. If I do it on the back this way, it's easier to pat it down and put a little bit of texture on the back. So I don't know what's going to be easier for me. But if I do that, then yeah, I'll have the texture on it and then sit this in there. And I don't know how big her earrings were that she made it. So the way she did hers was she took black clay and she silk screened it. I have silk screens, I just don't know where they are. And I've only used silk screens once in all this time that I've done polymer clay. Because I'm not really good at it. I don't seem to get enough pressure. And so I never use it. But I have rollers. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to use one of my rollers. So before I do that, I need to condense all this into the sizes that I'm going to need it at. And again, I'm still lost. So I'm waiting for those cutters to be done. And that way at least I'll know what size I need to get these down to. So this is, I think, a 2-inch, or it's less than 2-inch. It's like more than 1 3/4. And it's big. I don't think I want an earring that big. Wait, this can't be it. Yeah, this is closer. Yeah, so anyways, I am making a 1 1/4 inch, and I'm also making a 1 1/2 and 1 3/4 inch circle. That way I've got a bunch to choose from. And this has been sitting in my arsenal for a while. We do have a video on this. I'm pretty sure we have a video on this. I would have to find it. I don't remember us putting it in a square. I think we just left it like this. I mean, it'd be a really pretty kaleidoscope cane had we had done it. But I don't know if we did or not. And this is the only cane that I found in there, so I don't know if I used it or sold it. Probably sold it, because I rarely use my canes. So I just felt like shrinking this down small. And I think right where it's cracking right there, I'm going to keep some of it at that size too. So now I got a big, a medium, and then this one's going to be small. And we literally only need a couple if I use them at all. So I'm going to use a base of ecru. That way this is going to just literally form in there perfectly. And yes, we're going to do circles instead of the cameo that I made on the sample of this. So I am going to go wait for my circles to finish. I am going to get this so that it's small. And this is just going to like be put on it kind of haphazardly. I don't think we're going to figure out where we're going to place it perfectly. And again, I'm really bad at placement. So we'll see what we come up with. So I'm going to go ahead and shrink this down and go get my cutters. And I will come back when I've got this reduced. We'll talk to you then. Okay guys, so we are back. So I'm making 2 different earrings at the same time. So the biggest thing is cutting this out and keeping its shape, right? So we've got the flower, we've got this down to little itty bitsy ones. So now the only thing I need to do is to figure out what am I going to do with this. So instead of using a silk screen, I'm going to use rollers, right? So I'm going to first put this through at a number 4, because by the time I press it with a roller, it's going to be a 5. But for now, we're going to play here. Okay, so this is a 1 inch. This is a 1.2, and this is a 1.25. That's small that they're not even going to fit into each other. But I'm just trying to get an idea of what size I want this middle. Now, hers were big earrings. And I cannot see doing just a circle at a 2 inch or more. It just seems really big. And I'm not comfortable with making one that big. Okay, so this is a 1 3/4. Okay, so I know it's thin, and I'm not going to use this, guys. I'm just getting an idea. And yes, I just destroyed it. But this is just to play, because I got nice big air bubbles in here, right? To see which one is going to hold that centerpiece. Okay, so I have that. Okay. This is the 1.20, which I kind of like. And this is a 1.25. And they're all going to kind of fold in a little bit. So I don't know how much of that background that I want to see. I kind of like that. All right, so we're going to do the 1.20. So we're going to put these away for now. And this is 1.5, which would be better for a pair of earrings, but darn it. See what you got me thinking now? Let me do this really quick. So if I do a 1.5, right? With a flower, maybe. This is a 1 inch. It would have to be a 1-inch flower in the middle. Okay, so maybe I'll make the flower at a... okay, let's just leave it alone. We're just going to make a 1 3/4 for all 4. Okay, so I am using black clay that has been made black by Kato Blackout. And that makes the clay really soft. So I'm not sure if I'm going to like that or not. And then obviously I am not going to be using a silk screen. I'm going to use a roller. And when it comes out of the oven, I'm going to paint it. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is I need a sharp blade. Okay. Okay, so the second thing I'm going to do, I need the center to be a number 5 too. So I don't know quite where to cut that flower. So these are all my little guides that I made, right? And a number 5 looks to be 2 millimeters. So that's how thin I want this. Okay, so this is a number 4. The biggest thing that I'm worried about is distorting the circle when I take it off. That's going to be the biggest issue. Okay, so we're going to do the flower first. So the flower, I found some of this. It's I thought it was lace, and it may still be lace, or this might be my hibiscus. They're both really pretty backgrounds. And the fact that I'm not really going to see a whole lot of this, I don't know if it really matters. Okay, so I am going to take it off. Got those everywhere now. And I'm thinking of putting it on a piece of what do you call this? Deli paper to cut it out. Because I don't want it to stick, because then I'll distort it. Yeah, look how pretty. It really is a pretty roller, guys. Look at that. Okay. So if I can paint that, then awesome. Okay, so I'm going to need 2 of these. And honestly, it doesn't matter where I put this in. But I'm putting the less design in the middle, because it's going to be hidden anyways. I mean, it really doesn't matter. So we're going to come around here. Okay. So there's one piece. Hopefully it don't get stuck on there. And we're not going to paint it until it comes out of the oven. And I'd rather take the top off there. Okay. So I don't have this textured on the back yet. Okay, so if I put it in here, I'm not going to be able to texture it. But if I put it on the back, oops, sorry about that. I didn't mean to hit my phone. I put it back here, right? I don't know how well that's going to stick. All right, but we're going to try it. Oy. Okay, so we're just going to lightly stick it on there. And then we're going to try and lightly add some texture to it. We may have to come back in. You know, I think I'm going to. So scratch all of that, guys. Let me just make sure and see if I messed it up or not. I got a better idea. Okay. I'm not going to worry about the back. I'm going to put a thin piece on the back when they're done. Okay, I may have messed up this shape, so let me go ahead and do this one again. Okay, so we're going to run this back through. Yeah, I've been watching her videos because all she makes is jewelry. And all I literally do is make canes, you know. I don't really use them for anything. So by watching her videos, she's kind of giving me ideas how to use my own canes. And that's been a blessing. Okay, we just need one more of these so I don't have to go all the way up. Okay, I'm going to put that back on the deli paper here. Okay. Oh no! Guess what I did, guys? You know what I did, didn't you? Yes, you know what I did. Oh my goodness, my goodness. See, this is what happens when you don't pay attention, is you use the wrong cutter. But that's okay, because we're going to move this and we're going to put this right back on there. And we're going to come back in here. And there we go. All right. So there we go. Now we have our two circles for the flowers. Okay. Okay. So now we got those laid out. Now we're going to do the little cocopelli. And again, running it at a number 4, because by the time we put the roller to it, it should be a number 5. And I have a bunch of Aztec cutters. So I didn't know if I wanted to make it busy or not. So I'm just using my little cave drawings here. Okay, you know what? I'm going to do it this way. We got a lot of air bubbles in here, but I think after using this, they should disperse a little bit. Okay, and we went all the way across on this one. Maybe a little too much on that. And almost used this again. I'm going to put that away so I don't do that again. Okay, so we're going to come up here. I don't know where I got those little green sparkles right in there. But I want to get some fun shapes in there, but you're really not going to see a bunch of this. The majority of it's all going to be hidden. Oh, God darn it, Irene. So this is what happens when you literally don't pay attention to what you're doing. Okay, so what I did was I cut it on here, and it's just too thin, and I will destroy it like I just did. So this is all new stuff to me, right? I'm not used to cutting out on butcher paper, or whatever you want to call it, deli paper. So until I get what I'm doing into my little head over here, this is what's going to end up happening. Okay, and because I'm using Donna Kato's blackout, you definitely want to watch your rollers right after you're done, because that pigment literally gets over everything. So when I put these in the oven, I will go ahead and throw these in the sink with some soapy water. Or I could just wash it with alcohol, probably. Okay, so let's try that again. So I'm going to lift it up here. Okay. Yeah, I don't know where these little sparkly things are coming from, but they're there. So I want the designs to be on the end. Okay. And I'm going to put this right in there. And push that center down. I'll come over here. This has got a little bit more than that other side. Okay. Okay. So that's both of those. Okay, so we have all of our outside laid in there, okay? Now, I think I decided to do a 120. This is a 150, right? Yeah, I think this was a little smaller than this one, by just a tad. Okay, so again, we're going to move those over there. Okay, so now, put this away. I need to figure out how to cut this flower. And like I said, I need about 2 millimeter. So that is thin. So that's a scary thought too. Okay. So I'm going to cut just a little off the center, just to get it even. And obviously this blade is not going to be sharp enough for me. So we're going to try this one. Let me clean it up a little bit. And it's got to be a perfect circle. And you know that when you're going to cut through this flower, it is not going to be a perfect circle. All right? This might actually benefit in the freezer for a little bit. Because see how this is the one thing about the cut itself. It's thin, and it's not going to cut evenly. So I could try putting it in the freezer for a few minutes. All right, and this is the one that we want. And I don't mind if I cut a little bit off of it, but I do want it even. So I may have to pull out my Lucy Clay slicer here. And give it a little bit of a help. I don't know. Let me see. I usually have some depth guides in here. I don't know if I have a 2mm here. I have a 2.5. But I don't have a 2. Oh, yeah, I do. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I do have a 2. I'm going to see if I can kind of just put it on this side and just make sure I'm straight on that. And if it's a little thinner, it's okay. Oh, actually, that worked out really good. Okay. So, again, this is a number 5. Yeah, it can go just a tiny bit thinner if I want to. Okay, so if I do that, then I'm going to need this again. That's the other side, right? Yeah. Yeah, this is not going to be easy by any means. And I don't think that's even going to be even. Nope. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do, guys, is I'm going to have to go throw this in the freezer. Now it's all misshapen. Okay, so we're just going to round it a little bit. Up and down that way. It's going to have to be cut anyways to make it a little more round. So I may have to cut it to like a, I don't know, maybe a 2.5mm. And then stretch it for 0.5 millimeter. Or the other thing I can do is make this really, really thin and put it on the top of white. Make it all nice and even and meshed in there, and then cut out the circle. So we're going to figure that out. But for right now, let's get this in the oven, let's get this in the freezer. And we'll work on our little copelli while this is freezing. So I'm going to kind of wrap this so I don't have to lay it down on anything. Alright guys, I finished my sample cutter for somebody, so I'm going to take a picture of it really quick and send it to the potential buyer, and I will be right back. Alrighty guys, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take ecru and we're going to put this at a number 6. I mean, literally even a 7 would be fine. Okay. This is where I struggle, right? That's where I want it. But obviously, I don't want it there yet. So, I'm going to take the 1.25. Okay, and I need this to stick because I need it to sit still. Okay, and then I got this little cocopelli here, right? And I figure this is perfect. This is going to blend into the background perfectly. And I don't want to put the 2 all the way down because I may end up cutting this into something else later. So I'm just tapping a little bit off the front. Okay, and I might have to move the camera just for a minute. Yeah, it's a mess over there. Just so I can get in here. Okay. And now, I'm just going to cut a thin piece slowly. My goodness, I actually cut a thin piece. Not as thin as I would have liked it, but I got it thin. Okay, so this is basically all going to sit on here. I just don't like how boring the outside looks. Okay, so that's why I cut up these things to hopefully place it, I don't know, somewhere on here. And if I can do it good enough, you know, I won't have to, I don't know, lay it over. Where am I going to put this? Right there? I don't know if this would go something like that. All right, let's cut out a couple pieces. I don't know how I want to make this. You know, sometimes you get those ideas and you have no idea what you're going to do with them. But I don't want to get rid of the ecru in the background, because I want this to kind of blend into the background. So I don't want it to disappear. But I also don't know. I mean, obviously this whole thing is not going to sit there, as you can see. So I'm only obviously going to use a part of them because they're going to be cut right there. Okay. So if I were to take this, and this is seriously why I hate placements. But what I was thinking of, yeah, that works really good picking it up, right? What I need to get is one of those diamond pens. Might pick these up a little better. I'm not sure if I can find one. And if I can't find one in this drawer, then I'm not going to worry about it. And I'll just use a blade. Yeah, because I can't find one. Okay, so... Here's one, but I don't know if this is going to mark it, right? Uh-oh. Don't want that to get stuck there. All right, hold on a minute. I don't know where that purple came from, but I don't want that on there. I don't think this is going to be very even. We're going to try, but it's close enough. And at least it's just clay, right? So if I don't like it, then what do? I will just take it off, right? And do it a different way. Might be easier just to pick it up with my hands at this point. It's because one of these sides is a little more at an angle than the other, and I know that I've got a really bad shadow right in front of me. So that doesn't help. Okay. I think that's where it is. How this is going to turn out, I have no idea. We're just going to grab a little piece of deli paper now. And now we're going to try and put this into that bottom. Unfortunately, this might be thicker than it should have been. I should have made a very thin slice. But this is where we're at right now. And I mean, I could fill in like the centers right here with some clay. Or take a little bit off of the top. All right. Okay, let's try that. So let me grab some ecru. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this or not, but we are going to try the best that we possibly can to make this work. Okay. See what we're trying to do here? I don't know if that's going to work. Well, son of a gun. Okay, well, for now, let's just get it in here and see what happens. My hands are literally loaded with a lot of that blackout. So I don't want to make a mess. So it's all in there. It's just higher. I don't like that. It's just higher than all of that. And that is literally going to drive me crazy. So let me grab an X-Acto knife and I will be right back. Alright, I grabbed a piece of chocolate at the same time. Because I needed it. So I'm just showing you one. Because it's not going to fit quite in there as perfect as it should. So, before you try this, remember that you're going to have an area that's a lot smaller. And the problem is it's so thin that if I place that right there on there, I don't think it will come off that easy. Yeah, okay. Alright guys, let me fill up the sides and then I'll come back and we'll work on the rest together. Alrighty guys, so that wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. So, got it all done. We went ahead and put some texture on it. So I'm going to kind of move this away. Ahaha, no I'm not. See, I almost did it again, guys. I'm going to lift this up. And I think I'm just going to get me another piece of deli paper here. And I think I'm going to cut it in half. So that I don't waste it. Even though I got a ton of it. Okay, and we're going to put it right there. Oh, and God help me. I got to find the center point of this. And because it's kind of far away from me, I'm doing this without the camera. Alright. Alright, so you know me. Probably not going to be even, but I don't care. As long as I get it done, I'm happy. Alright, so let's bring you back. And then what I'm going to do is the same thing I did with the black ones. Oop, oop, no, no, no. Okay, so it's okay. All right, a little colorful, which is what I wanted it to be. So I have to make one more of these. So I'm going to set this one. Looks like that's about center. I'm going to set that one in just like the other ones, okay? And I'm going to make the other one off of camera, and I'm going to pull the flower off. And I'm going to put the flowers on there as well. You basically know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to slice it, and I will probably spread it just a little bit. And then I'll go ahead and cut it and put it in there. And then once they're ready to go in the oven, I will come back one more time, and I'll show you it. And I think that should do it. So I just want to make sure I did use this one. And I did. Okay, so I'm going to cut one more of these at a number 6. And then I'm going to have to clean my machine here because I got a lot of that blackout that's stuck in here. And it's making my ecru kind of streaked with black. So I don't want that to happen. Alrighty, so I think we're pretty good. So I will come back and show you what it's going to look like in a minute. I'm just going to find me that perfect spot that don't have black on it. Okay, and then we're going to do the same exact thing, is line up all those things. I think I'm going to go a little thinner because I got it textured, so I don't need to sand it. I just need to sand the sides. So I think I can go a little thinner on this. So I'll see you in a bit, guys. Bye. All right, guys, we are back. We pulled these out of the freezer. The only problem about cutting them when they're from the freezer, it don't stick. So this was just like sliding all over, and so that wasn't fun. But it worked, okay? We were able to cut it. Did it keep its perfect shape? Nope. But again, that's okay. So the problem is I need this at like a number 5. So I'm going to run this black on one side. Oh, I think we figured it out to be 2 millimeters, right? So this is how thin I really want it. Okay. That's quite a bit. So, let me make sure that, see, it's gonna be thicker. I mean, there's not a whole lot that I can do about it. So I'm not. But I am going to roll this, and I'm putting the pressure on the middle here. Okay. And like I said, I do have depth guides, but I don't think I have them smaller than a 2 millimeter because I don't do anything this thin. And it's just like, it's like 1.5 millimeters is what I'm going to need. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stretch it a little more. Okay, and what I really am trying to do is stretching the white out. Okay, and I got something on there, right there. I don't know where that came from. Okay, but see how you got a lot more white? Yeah, I didn't think this was going to be so difficult. And it's close. It's close enough. Right? So I'm not really going to worry about it. Now, what you can do is you can take like a stamp or just a hard surface, right? You know what? I'm going to do a clear one so that you can see what I'm doing underneath there. There we go. Okay. And basically, just kind of round it like this. Okay, and I'm going to do that with this one, which I think this one's probably a little thinner. Yeah, it is. Okay, and just kind of go in a little circular motion and then put them both together. Okay. All right, so I'm hoping that these are now going to be about this thick. And it's just a tad bit bigger. So that's okay. I'm going to leave it alone exactly where it's at. So this I have a feeling I'm going to have to sand just a little bit. It's gotten a little dirty. And yeah, because now it's a little sticky. Because it's defrosting a little bit. Okay, I don't want that side. Okay, so now again I'm going to have to move the camera over just a little bit. And I think it'll be okay if I don't get all the flower, if you know what I mean. It's not gonna have that outline like I was hoping. But as long as I got that flower pretty much in the center, that's really all I'm trying to gain here. Okay, so now I'm going to put this in the bottom, and then I will show you them. But yeah, that's definitely going to have to be sanded. Okay, so this is what we got. Hopefully you can see them. Okay, so there's the two with the flowers. And that one we're going to put white paint over it after they're cooked. And these will probably, I don't know, either put a blue or gold. I don't know what I'm going to do with this one. But that's the outside. That's going to be for my little Cocopelli right there. Okay, so we're going to throw these in the oven. And we will come back and show them to you. Talk to you in a bit. Bye. Alrighty, guys. We are back. And these are done. For now, they are paper thin, I'll tell you that much. So, not real happy with that, but that's probably why she backed them with a little bit more clay. So that's what I'm going to do. So basically this is what we got, and yeah, I've got to sand all this, as you can see. Okay, so those will go there, those will go there. And then these, I honestly don't know what I want to put around them. I don't know if I want to put black around them. I don't know if I want to put gold around them. I don't know if I want this to be, instead of a gold, but maybe like a turquoise color. So I know these are going to be white. So let me pull out some white here. And then I have gold. I'm just using Michael's brand. And this is a Winsor Newton. But I don't know if I want to back them before I paint them. Yeah, I don't think I want to do both. I mean, I would have to let this dry anyways. But I think I'd rather back them, bake them for another 20 minutes, and then come back and do it. Okay, so let's start with this guy. And yeah, we need some sandpaper here. I know I've got some somewhere. Actually, I have my little handy dandy sander here. I don't know what's on it. Nothing. It's just a really crappy piece of sandpaper. Unfortunately, the ones that I just bought are horrible. So I'm going to start with just an 800 grit. I don't need 400. So I don't even know what's in this bag. I'm thinking it's 800. It could be 400. Ah, boy. I really need to clean before I continue. And I'm not really worried about water. I'm just basically making this smooth and rounded. And basically straight up and down. do it from the back now. Okay. This one. Yeah, this has got to be at 800 because it's not really pulling it off. So I thank Donna Kato for showing me this little design here. And it's really nice to be able to use up my canes. But with the amount of cane I have, I could make a lot of these, and I get so bored that I probably will not. Yeah, so this one's still interesting to me. It didn't turn out too bad, but it's still a little weird. You can see right here where okay. This I could probably just peel off with my nails, but I do have a little chip right in there, but I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, and then this is going to be the same. But I don't think this is working all that good. Let me go ahead and grab an actual nail file here. I have a big sanding block. I just don't know why it's not here. But I do have one. Alright, I'm going to have to go grab one. I'll be right back. Alrighty. See if this helps a little bit. It's just basically where the cutter met the glass. It has a habit of sticking on there. And see the black? That's the Kato. That's the blackout. That does not happen when I use regular black clay. I've never seen that before. I don't know. I don't know which is better. And this is just so thin. It's crazy. See, basically all I'm trying to do is get that little strip off. But even this isn't working as great as I thought it would. So what I'll do is I'm going to put the backing on this. Okay, and then I'm going to stick it in the oven for about 20 minutes. And then I'm going to add the paint to it. And then I'll stick it in the oven probably for another 20 minutes. And I think that helps the paint to set. I know people say you don't have to do anything with acrylic, but I don't like just putting it on, because it's a lot different to me on clay than it is on paper. The biggest issue I'm going to have is just wrapping this. And I know Donna makes it extremely easy. Okay. Alrighty, I did these already. Nope, I didn't finish these, did I? Okay. And these were pretty good. Okay. Okay, guys, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a backing on this. We're going to make it a little thicker because it's really thin. And I don't want it real thin. So we're going to run this at a number 6. And I'm still using the blackout. Now I'm kind of wondering if I should just use regular black to cover it. Because it is a messy black. Okay, so I'm just going to do one. We're going to try one and see how this goes. Now, I'm using Bacon Bond. And I really need to just start pouring this stuff in a container. I don't use a paintbrush because I destroy paintbrushes that way. If anybody knows how to clean a paintbrush after they put liquid clay or Bacon Bond on it, please let me know. And then maybe I will start using it. Okay. All right. So as you can see, I did not texture the back yet. I'm going to wait until I'm done. And I'm just putting this on and trying to cover the sides. Like I said, she made it look so easy when she did it. But that's just her. She has a habit of making everything look so simple until you come in and try it on your own. And that's why I made this a whole lot bigger. Okay. And look at that, just from my nails. And of course you don't want any of that to stick on the top, because that's your... It's not easy to cut this because it's not a silk screen, it's an actual rolled on design. So that is probably why it's affecting me to get this off as easy as I would hope. Okay. But does it work? Yeah, it actually worked. Except for the very ends, where it gets stuck in the design. Okay. So that's the only hard part of it. It did get stuck right up there. So if it was a flat surface, I wouldn't be having this much problems. But it's not. But it looks good, right? But I do have like a little bit right in here. I want to get that off. Ugh. Okay. Okay, so I just want to get a little more off on it. Alright, so I'm gonna do this again on the other one, but not fold it over so much. Because you can see right here where it's kind of in the flowers themselves. Okay, and this is why I don't want to paint it at the same time. Okay, and then this we're going to put right back on that thing that we've got. I'm wondering if there's a big difference if I were to use regular black, if it wouldn't be quite so soft. So I'm going to do this other one in this. And then I'm going to go ahead and just grab some regular black. And we'll see if we have a difference. Okay. So on this one, I'm not going to allow it to fold over as much as the other one. And I'm probably making a mistake doing this, but I don't care. Just get ready so I can put you in the oven. Okay. So I'm going to get some of this off of my hands. And I'm going to bring it up, but I'm not going to fold it over. At least I'm going to try not to. Okay. But obviously you don't want any air bubbles or gaps in there. And if your blade is dull, you might want to get a better blade before starting this. Okay, so you can see where it's not quite sticking. And this is where a screen, a silk screen or whatever, works so much better. And you don't have to worry about any of this on top of your clay. So I'm just going to do that, and that actually seems to be working. Okay. So we're going to do this on the back. And then we'll pull whatever else gets stuck on the front off. Okay, and make sure you're texturing your sides. Yeah, it's going to be time to grab another green thing after this, I think. Okay. So that was a little easier doing it that way. But I still came over the top. This right here, it's got a little more than any of the other sides. Okay. All right, so we're gonna just do that again and make sure that we're perfectly good on this side. I don't think, I'm going to try something, but I'm not sure how well that's going to work. But it's better than what was on there before. Okay, so let me make sure. Yeah, this one was a little thinner. Okay, so those two. Okay, and that is the backing. So I gotta figure out what I want with this one before I do it. So I'm gonna grab some turquoise, because I do have turquoise in here. Well, this isn't turquoise. This is like a granite turquoise. But it'll at least give us an idea if I even want to use a blue. So I'm just going to do this really quick. I'm going to make a rope. So I'm going to make a rope in blue, and I'm going to make a rope in gold. And then I will finish doing this off camera. And when they come out of the oven, we'll paint it. And then we'll show you what we got. Okay, so basically, it's going to be a lot thinner than that. Alright, so we're just going to cut a tiny little piece like that. And I'm going to try and place it around there. Just loosely. Take a look at if I like the blue. Okay, gosh darn it. It's because I still got glue on my hands and it's sticking. This may not work. Oh well, I better get a good idea like this because there's no way I'm getting that around it. Okay, so I could either do a blue around it or I'll grab some gold. Just a tiny little bit. Now, if I do gold paint, then the blue probably wouldn't look so bad. All right. All right, so let's see what this would look like. So I could wrap it with gold, or I can border it with black, because that's what I'm going to do on those. Those are going to be black. Okay, so that's the blue. Yeah, I'll probably use the black. I will probably use the black. It's more dramatic. Okay, so I'm going to do the same with these. Oh, and another trick that I learned from Donna as I was doing this is because of the backing that she put on the back, okay, she poked holes. Okay, you're not going to see them. It's actually going to match everywhere else. Okay, but that way you won't get air bubbles in your piece because the air now has a place to escape. And I know this is probably overkill, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm going to do that to both of those. Okay, so I'm going to wrap these in black. And these in black, I'm going to throw them in the oven for 20 minutes. And then we'll come back and we'll start painting. We'll talk to you then. Bye. Alrighty, guys. We are back and we just threw a towel over our messy bench. It is 1 in the morning, so I don't know what I'm going to be able to get finished. But I just wanted to show you by putting the backing of the black on it. They don't look too bad. I do wish they were curved a little more. Okay, and then you got those two. Okay, so the only thing left that I have to do, I left my oven on, and this is probably the worst part for me. So I'm going to pour more water in here, just in case I mess up, right? And what I'm trying to do now is just put a coat of paint. We're going to go white on one and gold on the other. So we'll see how well this works, right? And I just take a little bit and kind of flatten it. And this is going to go over this one. See? That's why you have to flatten it. Alright. So the only thing I can do is put the gold on it. And then we're going to quickly wipe it off. Okay, whatever sticks is what sticks. God, isn't that pretty? That is, if it didn't get on the bottom. And it did, so I might not be able to use my fingers, can I? Alright, let's try something else. Can you tell I don't paint? I don't paint. I don't put a backing on the way that I do. Everything is just so new this time. Are you telling me I don't have a toothbrush in here? Well, that seems kind of odd. I've got all kinds of brushes, but no toothbrush. So we're just going to use the paintbrush, and let's see if we can get it off that way. All right, I might have to use like a, I don't know, maybe a Q-tip, because what I did not work. Or I just take a very tiny brush. So I think I showed you these things. I bought these, and I've got a whole lot of sets to them. So I'm thinking of selling them. But they're teeny, 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 teeny paintbrushes. So maybe, all right, let's see if we can do this slowly. I don't know, maybe if we just do this. See, to me this is going to take forever. And I don't want to be here forever. But I may have to do it. I haven't discounted it yet. But I'm going to grab a Q-tip here. And this is where being heavy-handed does not come in handy. So, you just basically want to rub it on the top like that. Okay. And unfortunately, see, it just makes, I guess, see, that's not going to matter. Yeah, see, I can't do it this way, even with a Q-tip. So, yeah, guys, I'm going to have to paint this by hand. That's going to take forever in a day. So, I'm not going to do that with you guys, unfortunately. So, the only thing I can do is paint this by hand. And literally come and show you when I am all done with it. So I have 2 that I need to do with gold. And I have 2 that I need to do with white. Okay, so anyways, those are them. And that's going to go together like that. Okay, and we still got to put those together. But that'll happen tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to do it tonight. But I'm going to find a good paintbrush and I'm going to paint. And I'll see you guys later. Bye. Alrighty guys, we are back and we've got a nice clean desk to finish these earrings. So let me show you what I got. So these are with my roller of cave drawings. I love the way those turned out with the gold. I do have a little bit of overspray. So it probably would be smart if I got rid of that. I was using acrylic paint and it took so long that I quit instead. And I started using my, oh, what's this thing called? You can get them at Michael's. It's just a Deco Color Premium Gold. This is an absolutely beautiful gold. This reminds me of 14 karat, not the real yellowish kind. So I'm about to lose some battery here. So I'm wrapped up in a bunch of cord. But let me get some black to fix that. And I've got a million of markers here. So I've got some Posca markers, and I've got some of these guys. I can't remember the name of it. Sakura maybe? I don't remember what the name is. But mostly I use the Posca. And boy, I haven't used this in ages. And unfortunately, you don't push down on these too much, because you will get a lot of ink. And I'm hoping, because I don't use it that often, that it's not all dried up in there. There we go. No. And actually, this is thicker than I want anyways. I don't think I could be... Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be real careful with this one. And this one looks like it's dried out. So let me just bring the whole container over here. I've got all kinds of colors in here. All I want is a black. Alright, so here's a black. Okay, that one works. And I think I can be really careful with this. So this one was fine. It was just this one where it kind of got a little unruly on me. Now, once the center goes on, I don't know how much of this I'm going to be able to see. Like, I'm pretty sure this right here is going to be hidden. But just in case. And then these are great because you can get in between. Oops, right on top. You can get in between it. And like I said, I think this is going to be hidden. So I'm not really concerned. That you might see. You see, I use my hand to kind of brace my hand, so I'll hold it against something because my hands don't really shake, but they're not as steady as they used to be. Okay. So let me just get in between here. Okay, and I haven't really looked at these. It took a lot of coats, and I still can't get this perfectly white, and so I kind of gave up. So we're going to let that dry for a little bit. I got a couple on this one. I guess I can fix really quick. Alright, so you can see right here where it just kind of, it spread quite a bit. Okay, so we'll let that dry for a couple of seconds. Throw all those in there. And let's do the white. Okay, so basically, I am just going to get a little bit of black clay, which I had in front of me until I cleaned up, see? So sometimes I clean up and then I can't find where I put everything. But if you want to see this video in entirety and the way that Donna Kato does it with a silk screen, check out her channel. And you can see how it's probably done right. I'm going to have to pull out my silk screen and try and attempt it one more time. One of these days. But for now, this is it. Also, I'm probably going to be doing a video once a week instead of twice a week. And that way, if I do have one where I can put up one twice a week, then it'll be a surprise. Because I just start stressing out, I think, trying to figure out what to do. And if I go for once a week, I think I can handle that. And it might just help me out a little bit. Okay, so I'm making kind of like a little donut here. And I can squish it down if I think it's too thick. So I need to get some Bacon Bond. And I'm just going to put this right in the center. Just a dab. Okay. And it's really cool because you'll know where the center is just by that little dome right there in the middle. Because if not, you know me, it would be completely backwards. Okay, and then we're going to put some on top. I definitely don't need that much. I need to put this in a container. It's just so sticky that I don't want it to get out on anything. So I did sand a little bit of the front. And we're just going to kind of drop it in here. And the color is a little different than that white paint. So I'm not real happy about that. So maybe after they're put together, I will try and get, I don't know, a different white on the backing of it. Okay. So now we're staring at it and going, okay, do we even like it? Now that I've got it on there, I don't. And the reason I don't is because the background is literally taking over. So, these I'm probably going to throw away because I don't like the way it turned out. But just for the heck of it, I'm wondering if I would like it better if it was a gold. I think it's still going to be way too busy. But maybe because it's a different color than the white, it won't clash so much. So, God, this gold, I am just so impressed with this stuff. This is the most beautiful gold. So I could have made a cane with just lines or something, or I can just do a strictly black background, which I'll probably do. Okay, so I know that gold's not on it completely. I just want to see if there's a difference. And I still think it's just too gaudy, if that makes sense. So maybe the center of this should literally just be, see, this is what I did earlier, and that's why I got so much overspray. I can still use this, right? But we're going to have to redo this and just do a black textured background. Just use a sponge or something. So that's kind of like the first coat. I don't know what we're going to do with that. It could be a nice little china plate or something. I don't know. But yeah, I definitely don't like that. So these two are going to have to go somewhere else. So I'm just going to paint this to get rid of the rest of this gold right here. And then I'll have to come over it and do it again. I don't think I have like a Q-tip. And even the next pair of earrings that we do, I'm not sure how happy I am with the Coco Pelli. I mean, it doesn't look as bad as this one did, but it still looks kind of weird. Maybe because I'm just not used to making earrings like this. I don't know. But you guys will let me know. And you guys could be honest. Don't be saying nice things if behind the scenes you're going, no, that was really ugly. I have no problem with anybody critiquing my work, because literally that is the only way you get better. All right, so now we're going to do this again, and we're going to put this on the other one, right? The other one, regardless if I like it or not, that's the way it's going to be. I'm just going to leave it alone. Again, I could probably back it with just black. So, before I even get to that part, let's just set this in there. Okay, and you can do it any way. You can do it that way. You can do it half-assed that way. Or you can go up and down. Okay, so that's how that would look like. So again, I don't know. I don't know what's throwing me off. I really don't. But something is just like throwing me off. So maybe instead of, oh, do I really want to ruin this? Oy. What would happen if I made this a gold edge instead of black? And if I don't like it, then I can just paint over it with black, right? Okay, so that's gotta dry. I got a little bit of wiping off to do, but just to, man, just to see. So I do like it better with the gold around it. It seems to fit in there a little better than the black. There's just something missing on that corner, and I think the gold will look good. Alright guys, so we're just going to do this off camera, because I got to let this dry now that I'm touching it. And I'll come back and show you the finished earring. This, I'm just going to, like I said, use just black. And, yeah, I don't want to even attempt to use white. And I think instead of making this number 5, I'm going to make it like a number 4 and back it, because there's no reason to back it if it's black, if you know what I mean. Like the last time we backed it, we went up the sides with the black. yeah, that's just really busy. Okay, so we'll be back when it's completely done. I hope you enjoy that. And we'll show you what the finished product looks like shortly. Talk to you then. Bye.